A very good morning, Zanzi. My name is Pelelani Ngubane, and I'm part of an organization called Be Smart SA, which is an organization that focuses on trying to help build the next generation of accountants, auditors, including bookkeepers. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we also have created this platform to try and help out to bring in awareness to people and the professionals that are still starting up their careers so that they are aware of all of these things that we are including here in our conversation. And we also provide tutorial services for accounting related modules. But today on our show, we have Josephine Hove. How are you, sis?
Good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Thank you for the invite. I am very, very, very honored to be here. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Six. And just before we start our interview, I like introducing people into our audience so that people will get to relate to the person that I'm interviewing. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Josephine and where are you from? Tell us a bit about your background.
Yes, so as you already know, as you have already been introduced, my name is Josephine Hove. I am originally from Zimbabwe, but I moved here to Cape Town, to South Africa specifically for my studies. I got a Zim scholarship and I moved here to South Africa to study. And after that, I did my articles, psycho articles, and then currently I am working in corporate finance. So yeah, that's Josephine for you. That's
All
Josephine
right,
for you.
man. Uh, like honestly speaking, it's I'm very like honored to also have someone like you here in my show because I know that you'll be sharing information that will be useful for students, information that will be useful again for young professionals and also for professionals as a whole. So I think it was a good move for us to invite you here in our show. And again, I just wanted to know why did you choose accounting? I mean, there are many streams that would have like chosen, and maybe there are many career paths again that you would have decided to take, but why take accounting?
Yes, so the reason for me, I feel like accounting chose me rather. It
Yeah.
chose me. Why? Because
Yeah.
when I was in high school in my matric year, I think in Zimbabwe we call it A level, you guys call it matric. When I was in my matric year, I was just good at
Mm,
it. Like I was getting 100%. There's this multiple choice one that is very difficult.
mm,
Most of the people fail it. I was
yeah.
getting 38 out of 40, 39 out of 40, 40 out of 40. So at the end of my A level, I did get like best in accounting in award. So
Mm,
in my mind, I was like, you know what, let me do something that I really, really am good at.
yeah.
So when accounting came, then I was like, okay, I'm good at this. But then when I applied for my scholarship, for my Zim scholarship,
Mm,
I initially like they just allocate programs based on your results. So my results, I had an A in accounting and I had a B in maths, and then I think I had a C in economics, and then I had a B in business studies. So they
mm,
automatically said, you know what, this person is going to accounting because that's your best mark. That's your
yeah.
highest mark. So they automatically allocated me there. And then they're like, okay, you're going to study Bachelor of Accounting. And I was like, okay, fine. Since I was already like getting awards for it. And, I was like, you know what, I might as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, accounting really chose me because I was good at it and it chose me basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly speaking, I think it's interesting how Zimbabwe structures like the education. If you are saying that you are getting allocated based on your best marks, it's something
Yeah.
different from here. People get to choose what they want to do, and basically there are like advantages of that, and also there are some disadvantages of that. But again, how like the Zimbabwean education is structured, again, it looks like as if it's something that is very interesting, and it's also will help someone that is working there or that is studying there so that they can fulfill their potential. I mean,
Yeah. They,
what
they
do you
they
want to say about
basically
that? Yeah.
Yeah, they basically the way they structure education, they allocate you studies. What is it? Your classes based on your abilities, based on
Mm,
how good are you in terms of
mm,
your modules and stuff. I don't know what you call it. You call them? Do you call them modules? Yeah, I'm not sure, but they
yeah.
allocate you classes based on that.
Mm,
So Yeah, basically that's how they did it for us. Especially when you move from your O level to your A level, they're not gonna make you do sciences. Sciences is basically your biology, your additional math, your chemistry. They're not gonna make you do those modules if you didn't do well in them. So they'll allocate
Mm.
you to things that you did well in. So yeah, that's how they do things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly speaking, Kate, I think that is very interesting, And I would like also to know, man, having had
Mm.
like finished your matric there or your A level in Zimbabwe and having had to now move to South Africa after finishing your A level to for varsity and for also just to pursue your dreams. I mean, how was the change in the surrounding and how did you basically find your way working around the challenges that you were facing at that time?
So, like the way we were welcomed, because we were like a group, Zim Presidential Scholarship students, we were like a group. So
Mm.
like I was studying at the University of Johannesburg, like how UJ has a lot of international students. So they
Yeah,
did welcome us well and made sure that we are comfortable, we have accommodation. So I really thank the UJ international team there because they really made sure that we are comfortable. But yeah, it was an adjustment. Why? Because when we came here, for me it was my first time really, really engaging, like the Zim language, the Zim English is different. So I,
yeah,
I remember struggling in my lectures. Sometimes I would hear some of the things I would be like, okay, what did he say? But
yeah.
then with time you get used to the English that is the side. Because for
Mm.
some of us, because of our backgrounds, it was our first time even traveling outside of Zimbabwe, going to another country. So
Yeah.
you can imagine like how thrilling it was for us. So yeah, I think most of the challenges was the language, and other than that, the university really, really gives you facilities to really, really do well if you use the facilities. If you are not good at something, there are so many other facilities there that you can use. So yeah, we were on campus. What do you call it? My race was also on campus as well. So yeah, my studies were pretty much smooth. Um, Yes, the studies themselves were hard because COVID
Yeah.
19 hit. COVID
Yeah.
19 hit, and we couldn't go home, so we were stuck at the residence for that entire period of COVID 19. I was at rest. So
Mm.
yeah, I mean, other than that, there are not really like many challenges that I faced. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think again, it's like more students will relate to that, and more
Mm,
people that are now suddenly joining in corporate at this time will relate to the period where COVID-19 hit while people are still in varsity and all of that, and people had to find ways to live that are different from what they were used to, and basically that made us the people that we are today. But again, that is something that would share with our kids, that would share with our grandchildren, so that they get to know that there's this thing that happened that really suddenly changed our life at that time. But basically, I think we managed to do well, moved on to from that. Then now life looks like as if it's a little bit normal now. But
mm,
I just want to know now, I just want to know from you. I know that you have served your articles at BDO South Africa, which is one of the
mm.
big auditing firm in the auditing space, man. And again, I know that you were part of the financial services department. But for someone who doesn't know about this, what's financial services from an auditing perspective, and how is it different from just general audit?
Yes. So with the financial services industry is basically audits for your banking, your funds, your insurance, your medical schemes. So it's basically you see all those companies that are highly regulated by FISCA or FICA. Those are some of the companies that we will be auditing in the financial services. So in a normal setting where you have revenue, you have sale, you have inventory, in financial services, we don't have that. We have more of management fees, performance fees, um, like in the insurance space now you have IFRS 17. So it's a little bit different and a little bit more complex and a little bit more exciting, to be honest. So that's I would say the main difference between the two. And also, like in the financial services industry, you get more exposure to IFRS 19. You know that I was in the SVCG group, which is the specialized valuations and credit group, where we did like valuations of IFRS 9 instruments. So you get more exposure to those instruments. You get more exposure to what do you call it, how the insurance spaces work, how the funds work, how the fund managers work, the investment managers. So I, the main reason why I like, for me, I enjoyed being in the financial services audits was because you really get to understand how people invest their money, how money
Yeah.
work. The money that you put in an insurance company, it just doesn't stay there. They just don't keep it there. They reinvest that money, because they're also trying to mitigate their risk. The money that you're putting in funds, I know some people are investing with Alan Gray, they're investing in different kinds of funds. They don't just keep it there, reinvest it. So, for example, in insurance, there's something that they call reinsurance, whereby the money that you have insured, the insurance company reinsure that money. So you
Yeah.
see, those things are interesting. So you get to be face to face with real life situations. You get to know, all the risks associated with money, the credit risk, the insurance risk, the interest rate risk, the exchange rate risk, all those things you get to, how we were analyzing risk, and these are some of the risks
Yeah.
that were coming up. So those are some of the interesting things in insurance. You get to learn about money, how money works, and you get to know also like how to really, 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 really reinvest your money as a young professional. How do you invest money? I do believe that after your 3 years of articles, you should know like something about money. So, so
Yeah.
financial services gives you that
Mm.
exposure more than anything. It brightens the world for you to really think about, okay, my money. Let's say I'm an investment. I'm a professional. How do I invest my money? Where can I invest my money? Okay, when I invest my money, what actually happens? So yeah, more than anything, that was that for me. And also just adding on to, like I said earlier on, these audits in the financial service, they are regulated by FISCA and FICA. So they are more deadline based. They are more very much deadline based. You
Nice.
have to meet a deadline because those people need to submit um, their financial information to FICA to say that, okay, we are meeting these targets, we are doing this, or um, so they have their submissions as well. So yeah, that's how they were very regulated. That's why you see people are very, very busy sometimes in the financial service. Why? Because they have deadlines. Most of our audits would be pegged, during a certain period of time. And then December, October, we are a little bit more relaxed.
Relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the financial services.
But yeah, you have shared there quite a lot. And again, I think all of these things that you just shared about financial services, it's something that we can relate to into day-to-day lives, So things that are happening in real life, so things that would
Yeah.
actually affect someone. So if you get to know all of this, or so you get to have all of this information, you know how to best invest your funds, you know how to manage your finances and all of those things. And they basically help to teach people to be use money, because I think now money is the world now, so things like
Mm,
why is this some sort of like specialty in terms of financial services, not taking the away the fact that also general audit is a very good place, or it's a place where you can get good exposure as well. But basically that's the difference between the two. And if you are basically a student, you can get to choose any between the two depending on what you have planned for your future. What do you have to say about that?
So, like, basically, I think knowledge is important more than anything. Knowledge is important.
Yeah.
Sometimes, some of us really grew up in spaces where we were not exposed to this. We didn't know what is interest rate risk. We didn't know, um, what is how even the banking system works, because we were not
Mm.
exposed to these things.
Yeah.
So yeah, exposure is important. I think articles in the financial services really, really gives you exposure. Now that I'm finished with articles, that's when I'm like, you know what? I need to invest my money in my fund. Like
Yeah.
a few months ago, I invested money in a fund. I'm like, you know what? I need to invest my money in a fund. I want to see like how it grows, and it's been really
Yeah.
growing, and That's when you realize, you know what, I think a pension fund is important for my life. A retirement fund is important. So an investment fund is important. Let's say you have a child, for example, you have kids, and you create
Yeah.
like funds for their education. It's important that you do that. So yeah, more than anything, because remember, when we are in audit, we are seeing these things in play. We are seeing how people are investing their money, and how the companies are really are getting their performance fee and management fee from this money that people invested. We are seeing all these
Yeah.
things come into play. We are seeing different funds. For example, if you are auditing funds, you are seeing different
Mm.
funds, how they are getting money, how loaded these funds are. We are seeing all of those
Yeah.
things. So it really
Yeah.
makes you really want to learn more. So more than anything, the financial services industry, it teaches you about money. It teaches you about how to use your money wisely, financial management, um, basically. And it makes you a very financial savvy person, because you can't use money anyhow when you've been in the financial services industry.
Yeah.
You know, it makes you
Yeah.
really understand some of the things that you do. For example, your insurance, it really makes you understand that, oh, there is really no way, unless maybe there is like fraud or anything, that I would lose my money in insurance. Why? Because it's being reinvested in something else. It's not just staying um, in a fund. So I like how this other manager explained the whole financial services. He explained it in one thing, to say that you have the insurance company that you put your money in. They're like, listen, we can't carry this risk. Let us reinvest this money. They put it maybe in funds. They put it in an investment manager. And then, so you see, it's a whole circle. It's a circle of things that revolve around. So yeah, more than anything, I would really, really encourage our viewers to really consider the financial services industry, especially if you're someone who really, for me, I think the reason why I did the financial services was I wanted to be
Yeah.
rich. My goal was to be rich, and I knew a part of me, a part of me knew that in
Yeah.
financial services, I'm not only gonna do audit, I'm gonna learn how money works. A part of me
Yeah.
knew. So in between the lines, I could see, okay, this is how money works. This is how people invest their money in things. When you see a
Yeah.
person say, oh, I have investments, what are they talking about? This is the financial
Yeah.
services. That's where you actually see, oh, investment, they mean they've invested in a fund, in an equity fund. How does an equity fund work? Oh, they are saying investment because they have invested in a different fund. How does it actually work? So
Yeah.
yeah, more than anything, it really teaches you money and how money works, especially you're coming from a background like mine, where you grew up, you didn't even have a bank account. I know some people, I started having my bank account in my first year. That's when I'm like,
Yeah.
they need us to have a bank account, because now my
Yeah.
scholarship needed to deposit money into my bank account.
Yeah.
That was my first time having a bank account. So
Yeah.
yeah, exposure, guys. Exposure.
I think
Exposure is really
yeah.
important. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're making like a right emphasis there on exposure, because that is what we are trying to create as well on this platform, to ensure that people are aware of things that they might need whenever they are thinking on about their careers, when they are thinking on what to do next after matric, on what to do next after varsity, things like that. And I'm also aware that you are working on the corporate finance faculty, and I think you mentioned that as well at the beginning of this episode. So I would want you to give us a bit of an understanding of what is happening on the financial, on the corporate finance faculty. How is your day-to-day operation looks like, and what are the qualifications that you guys take for someone to be able to be admitted into that faculty?
Yes. So uh basically, I think for me, yeah, more than anything, it was really grace. Why? Because I'm not yet a chartered accountant. I'm still writing my board for me to become a chartered accountant. but I had that exposure to special valuations and credit group. So I knew like how we were taught like how to value instruments, FECs, foreign exchange rate notes, things like that, interest rate swaps. So we were taught like how to value certain instruments, and there was a little bit of exposure of valuating instruments. So from that, then that's when I got into the corporate finance space. So for some people, when they're doing their articles, they already do the FMVA, which is from the CFI Institute, where you do a course of financial modeling. I think the requirements for that is just when you have a degree, you can actually just do that course. I think an accounting degree, a finance degree, you can do that course. So for that, it can also help you in the market space for you to be recognizable because you have that already, that certification. It shows that initiative that,
Yeah.
what, I want to be in this space, really. So yeah, I think the requirements of the corporate finance space, it's actually you either doing that course, or you being a chartered accountant, or you being exposure in some way to the corporate finance space, whether it's valuation, whether it's mergers and accusation, whether it's your due diligence, anything in that space. You need to have a bit of exposure for them to actually employ you, because remember, in the corporate finance space, you're also in competing with people that have actually did a degree in investment management, or did a degree in business science, or did a degree specifically for valuations. So you are competing with those kind of people, so you need a bit of exposure. So I think maybe just speaking to someone, maybe you are in your third year or you are in your second year, you can ask, if that's where you want to be, you can ask to be seconded, if your company has a department in corporate finance, to be seconded to a corporate finance department, if you don't really have exposure to that space. So yeah, for me, that's how it happened. And how does the corporate finance space work? So
Yeah.
basically, the corporate finance space work in terms of mergers and acquisition. There are some people that come, they want to merge their businesses, and we work to value that business and this business, and trying by all means to measure them together and seeing the value that they would create, or value, equity valuations or debt valuations of different kinds of segments that that business has. So it's that mergers and acquisition, and then there's due diligence as well. And then there is valuations, which is just valuations of instruments, whereby a big company, let's say, for example, ESCOM might say, okay, we want to start a project somewhere. We want to invest 600 million in this project. We want to give this company 600 million for them to help us generate electricity. We will value that 600 million, how much interest has it accumulated? If it's a loan, how much interest has it accumulated? How are they able to repay? This company, is it able to was it able to generate income to be able to repay? So we analyze the cash flow forecast. We analyze the agreements that they have. We analyze, all the terms, and then we create a model whereby, we see like how the cash flows are flowing through the term of that loan. So it's basically like valuating. So yeah, those are some of the work that we do, and we create reports, and we really understand the terms and what the client is really doing, and making sure that the client, whoever was given a loan from a bank or something, they are really, being able to repay. Or are they in default? Are they repaying this loan? All of those things. So imagine like having that knowledge, and you are failing to also pay your own loans from the bank. You get to
Yeah.
also apply it in your own life to say, oh,
Yeah.
there's an easier way I can do or repay this loan from the bank. So it's knowledge that you can apply to your day-to-day life and the things that you do, especially whenever. One thing that I like, anything that has to do with finances, it will help you. Whether whether it's financial management, finances, financial services, corporate finance, anything to do with finance, it will affect your life either way. So
Yeah.
Yeah, if I were any person, any viewer, I would be interested to knowing any industry that has to do with finance, that yeah, it will affect you in any way. So
Mm.
yeah, those are some of the works that we do in the corporate finance space. I have been 2 months in currently, and I'm really hoping to learn more. I'm in a very good space with people that are very intelligent, people that are um that will sharpen your mind. As you're listening to them, you're like, oh, wow, this is incredible. I like the way you think. I like the way you look at things. But also, you know what? One thing I realized is, um, having accounting background and also now being in a finance space, it helps me because these two, they communicate so well together,
Yeah.
so well together. Because for me to be able to see that, okay, this company can actually repay the loan that we gave them, I need to understand their financials. Then it goes back to your power analysis. We did a power analysis in planning, in
Mm.
auditing. So having gotten my articles at BGO and what I'm doing now, marrying it together, oh, wonderful. So I think I think
Yeah.
yeah, exposure.
Yeah. Honestly speaking, I think there are a lot of points that you have put it out there, and I think people will learn more on that. And I'm also very interested in terms of the financial modeling valuation certificates that you spoke about here. And you just told us that the minimum requirements is just to have a degree, then you can be able you are able to register for to study that qualification. But I want to know, how long does that take? And in terms of finance, how much are the costs, or which institutions that are there that are offering this qualification?
Okay, so with that course, you can actually just go to the CFI website.
Mm.
Um, they have most of their information. I think they have a self-study where you study by yourself, and then I
Yeah.
think that one is like 398 US, and then you have another course whereby you have an AI model that is helping you to study or something like that. I think that one
Mm.
is around 500 US. So around
Yeah.
500 US, that's around 6,000, right? Around
Yeah.
6,000. And then 390 something can be around 4,500, somewhere around there.
Mm.
So yeah, those are the monies that you would need. And then in terms of the time that would take, it depends on how diligent you are. Some people, it doesn't take them long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that some people, they get very busy and then it takes long. But I think if you are really diligent with it, you can finish it within a month, 2 months, you're done. It just depends if you are like really engaging with the information, because you wouldn't want to write their exams without studying. So yeah,
Yeah.
because they really teach you real life financial principles. So, and also like with this course, it really, because I've seen people in audit do it. And if you are not in the audit of financial services, I don't think it will benefit you in your career. Because sometimes I think we are in the habit of just doing things for the sake of doing things. Are you wanting to be in the investment management area? Are you wanting to be in the corporate finance space? Are you in the financial services audit space? Are you in the special valuations and credit group space? Are you doing valuations? If you are doing valuations, you are working in the banking sector, or you're working in funds, or you're working for investment manager, then it would benefit you to do that course, because it's basically your financial management principles, your valuations, types of valuations, your equity valuations, debt, how do you value debt, all of those things. So imagine having to learn all of those things and then you just come and do manufacturing audit. It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. But then
Yeah.
if you are in that space, then do it. Yeah. Or
No,
you
no,
want to
no.
get into that space.
Now, I think the reason why I asked that question is that we want to give information out to people who would want to join maybe the faculty of corporate finance. So they need to know what to do. Just like how you've just explained that if you were to do the financial modeling valuation certificate, you would basically get some sort of like leverage so that you can get into the corporate finance faculty. And then when you're inside, again, you just work your way up because that is what you are trying to get. And again, I think there is something that you also mentioned at the beginning of our meeting, I know again that a lot of people like look up to you because you also have a YouTube channel where you share ideas, where you mentor young people, where you try to teach people in terms of finance, whether spiritual again. And I just wanted to know, and again, I know that you were part of the She Leads program, you know. So what was the She Leads program all about?
Yes, so BDO has this amazing program during your
Mm,
articles called the She Leads Investment Program. So, what they basically do is they try to empower young female leaders because the problem that they are having in audit, especially in the audit space, is because they don't have a lot of female managers, female people that will rise to be partners. If you
mm,
know, even in our financial services space, I think we had two female partners. The rest were like male in
mm,
our office in Cape Town. So they are trying by all means to empower female leaders. So how do they do that? They introduce the She Leads program where it would be mentored by other female leaders. They'll be like your Claire Anises, your Terry Westons, like very big, nice people they that will mentor you, to really really awaken that leader in you. So they would make you like to write books, to read books, and then they'll give you a review on the books. You do assignments together. So one of the assignments that they would give you is for you to come up with ideas that will change the company, the way the company is working, certain things, certain challenges that the company is having. Come up with ideas and present them to the partners. So
yeah,
imagine presenting to the partners and saying, listen, you guys are not doing this well, you can do it this way. Um,
yeah,
you actually need to know your facts. Your facts need to be very straight for you to be
mm,
able to do those kind of things. So yeah, it's actually a very good program. I was very, very much honored to be a part of that program, having to present to partners, and giving ideas, that would really take the firm to the next level. For me, was really mind blowing. And I really do think that there are so many other programs also that people can join. There is the African Women Chartered Accountants. It's also a program. There is Women in Finance. I've seen another one. But yeah, there are so many programs that people can actually join. Even Psychi has different kind of programs that you can join. I really encourage these programs because you get to network. Imagine there was never a point where you would see me in a room with Bushle Anise. Sorry, I'll use
yeah,
Bushle Anise because I love Bushle Anise.
yeah,
So there was never a point where I would be in the same room with her. But because of this
yeah,
program, I was able to be in the same room with her. I
mm,
remember because of this program, again, we went to Women in Finance event. I got to meet the CFO of the TFG group, the whole group of the TFG, your Foshinis, your that group. I got to
yeah,
meet, I took a picture with her and just speak
yeah,
to her, her
yeah,
explaining her journey, like how she got to be where she is. So
yeah,
you need to be in this spaces. Why? Unconsciously or subconsciously, it really really inspires you in a way to say that, you know what, this can be done wherever I am. I can get to where I want to be.
yeah.
So yeah, for me, more than anything, it helped me with my confidence. It helped me to really look at life and say, others have done it, I can also do it. So yeah, very very important.
Yeah.
Please join.
Yeah, honestly speaking, I think you have touched on like a very important point there to say that networking is very important, you know. And I've been having conversation with some of my students. I'm saying, hey, you guys, whenever there is basically gatherings for professionals, you guys need to be part of that gathering, you know, because you need to network, get to meet people, try to create conversations with the people so that you get to know how did they find themselves sitting on those seats, you know, and so that you can see and get clear guidance from someone that has walked that path, you know. So it is very important that we keep on like emphasizing to people that networking is very important, and also it opens doors in nowadays. Honestly
Yeah.
speaking, if we were to think about it, there are a lot of people that are qualified now. And if
Mm.
people are all qualified, and if I were to elect someone that I want to work with as a person that is on an executive level, I would want to work with someone that I know, you know,
Your net
someone that
your
I can
network is
trust.
your net worth.
Yeah, so yeah, it's very true. Your network is your network. So because And think about it, even if you are basically the owner of the company, you'd wanna have people around you that you trust, and you trust people who are from your network. So that is why it's very important to network with people. It can help you as well to level up in your career. And what you have to say about that?
Yes, I think you, because me and you were in the same article space,
Yeah.
there would be events that would happen at BDO and some people wouldn't attend, you know.
Mm,
Those events are made for you as trainees. Attend those events. Whether you like people there or you don't like people, they go and interact with people. And one
mm,
thing about networking that people don't understand is um, I don't really have to like you as a person, but I can like what you've done with your career. You get what I'm
yeah.
saying? Learn to be that objective to say that I might not actually really like this person in terms of um, just societal things or your feelings or whatever. You've worked with them, you didn't like them, it's fine.
Yeah.
But you can like what they've done with their lives, what they've done with their career. Because one
Mm,
thing that I understand is that you know what, nothing can override someone's achievements and how hard they've worked. Even if you don't like them, they are still the associate director. They've worked very hard. They're still the manager.
yeah.
They've worked very hard to be where they are. So
Yeah.
yeah, look at networking in that way to say that go out there and really get to meet people. These events that are made for trainees, they're made for you. Psycha is a year event. I don't know what it's called. It's called Psycha Trailblazers or something,
Yeah.
where where they invite everyone, all the firms, everyone is invited. They send emails to everyone.
Yeah.
Why are you not attending such event? Last year we attended that event. No, 2 years back we attended that event and they gave us very nice gifts there. Very
Yeah.
nice gifts. So these things, they don't need money for you to attend. You're just being invited. So really, really avail yourself to those kind of things because you really need to meet people. In this industry and in these spaces, it's about who do you know? Who do you know? Do
Yeah.
they know you? Can they trust you? Like what you were saying, can they
Yeah.
trust you? Some people they get employed to a different company. They're like, okay, I'll bring Pelelani because I've worked with Pelelani in BDO. I know how he works. I
Mm,
would like to work. I call Pelelani. Pelelani, do you have a job? Okay,
yeah.
okay, send your CVs. I need you in this space. Your qualifications and your skills and everything. I need it in this space. So that's how people get jobs nowadays, more than anything. So it's very good for you to network. Go out there, meet people, meet amazing people. They will teach you a lot of things about life. They will teach you a lot of things about your skills. They will teach you a lot of things about how to work in this industry. Even some of you, you are trainees right now, but you haven't even greeted your partners. Just to go
Yeah.
and say, "Oh, good morning. How are you? How was the weekend? Okay, fine."
Yeah.
You know, really, really put yourself out there because not putting yourself out there will really, really affect your career in some way. Um, yeah, I think me even getting articles at BDO was me actually putting myself out there on LinkedIn.
Mm,
So every job, me, I got my jobs on LinkedIn. Why? Because I really, really try to be active on LinkedIn. I think I have about 3,000 followers on LinkedIn. I try to be active in these spaces. So that has really, really helped me to uh, get those jobs. Yeah.
yeah, I think again what you have just shared is very important, and now I do understand why like a lot of young people are looking up to you, and because of your journey as a professional, and also because of your personality. I mean,
Mm.
and I know as well that there is a lot of things that you are currently doing. How's your year looking?
My year is it's looking very, very, very a bit challenging for me. Why? Because I'm at a point where I'm forced to grow in every area of my life. It's
Yeah,
a force, it's a push for me to grow.
yeah,
So like I said, I have a YouTube channel, Life of an Overcomer. It is different series that I'm teaching on. And at the same time, I'm working in corporate finance, which is like a lot of work. I'm
yeah,
trying to learn this job. It's only been 2 months, so I'm trying to learn this job. I'm trying to master. One of the things that I'm learning is mastery in everything that I do, excellence in
yeah,
everything that I do. So I'm at a point where I'm absorbing. I'm really a sponge in this. Do you know a sponge? Like when you put water into it, it absorbs everything. That's
yeah,
me. This is I'm trying to
yeah,
absorb as much as I can. At the same time, I'm trying to do FMVA, write my board exams, finish off this whole CASA thing. So yeah, for me, it's really been that more than anything. And really, really trying to inspire others as I grow, because I do believe that, you know, you are not yet in a place where you have grown if you haven't raised anyone that looks like you. There's
Yeah,
something that
yeah,
someone told.
yeah,
If we look around you, everyone is lower than you, then you are not growing because you're not raising. Even your younger siblings, if they are not growing, they are not they are not pursuing education. You are the only one in your family that is successful, the only one in your community that is successful, the only one in your area that is successful, then you are not growing. You haven't grown because you only measure the level of your growth when you have raised people that look like you,
yeah.
proteges that look like you. Then we are saying, Pilani has really grown. Like now you have a platform where you are raising people that will even do greater things than you, then you have grown. So that's one of the things that I'm learning to do in my church space, in my environment where I come from. There are people that literally just look at me and be like, oh, you know what, this one, God has really done amazing things for her. I want to learn from her. So in any space that you are in right now, maybe you are in your first year of articles, second year of articles, there are some people that look up to you. They don't have a degree yet, but you have a degree. They're looking there, hey, how did she do it? For you, it's a simple thing. For you, it's simple ABC, but for them, it's not like that. So that's why at every level that you are in life, try as much as you can to raise people. There's a saying that I like that says, aspire to inspire before you expire. There is a time where you won't be relevant. You see all these things that we are doing, we won't be relevant for us to be doing these things. Maybe I'll just be mentoring people in my office space. Maybe I'll be owning an office space. Small people. I won't be able to come here and do YouTubes and do all of these things that I'm doing. So I have to aspire to inspire other people before I expire or before I die. I have to leave a
Yeah,
legacy. Before I
yeah,
die, I have to leave a legacy of, you know what, she really tried to mentor other people in life. She really tried to mentor other people in career. She really tried to mentor other people spiritually. So yeah, more than anything, I'm trying to be like I said, even to you, I think I spoke to you about this, that I do believe God called each and every one of us, for certain things. There are certain things, specific things that Pelelani can do and Josephine cannot do. So in those things that you are called to do, it is my prayer that I'm able to do everything that I'm called to do. Someone said that the graves are the most wealthiest place. Why? Because people died with potential that was not unleashed, potential that was never used. So this goes to everyone that is listening to us to say that, God placed something inside of you. Don't doubt yourself. If you have an idea, grow that idea. See where that idea is growing, it's going. So don't doubt yourself. Put in the work that you're supposed to put in. I remember when I started a YouTube channel, I was like, "Hey, who's gonna listen to YouTube? I mean, I'm not famous, so who's gonna listen?" But
yeah.
I have people that have sent me very encouraging messages to say, Sis Josephine, that video that you released, I was struggling in that area. It really helped me. I'm like, those are the people that I'm called to. Those are the people that I'm supposed to share these things with. And I'm really grateful for that. So yeah, more than anything, remember, aspire to inspire before you expire.
Yeah, I think and a lot of words of motivation to the young people and also to the professionals as a whole, And I'm also like quite interested now to know the best highlights of your career from your perspective. There's a lot of things that you have done so far now in your career. There are a lot of achievements that you have gotten now, but I just want to know what's the best highlights of your career from your perspective.
Yeah, that's very, 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 very deep. I
Mm.
think the best highlight for my career was having to work with people that understood me and having to work with people, very smart people. I've gotten to work with very smart people, people that I can learn from. Even in BDO, I get to learn with different kinds of people that I could learn from. Um, that I could really, like when you work with someone, you're like, I like how they do this thing. I think I'm gonna do
Yeah.
this thing the way that they do it. That's how I felt
Mm.
every time I worked with different kinds of people in different kinds of audits. I would meet someone, I'm like, I like the way they look at life, their view of life. I like it. I think I'm gonna adopt it. The way they view their job, I like it.
Mm.
Um, I remember you worked with Dylan. I remember working with another senior manager. I think maybe you might even see this video. Working with Dylan, the
Mm.
way he would do things. I'm like, you know what? When I grow up, I want to be like a Dylan.
Yeah.
I think everyone wanted to be a Dylan at some
Yeah.
point. Um, I worked with very, very
Mm.
amazing people, very amazing chartered accountants, people that are critical thinkers. Even now, as I'm in the corporate finance space, I'm working with people that have sharp minds, people that I'm like, you know what? Every time I wake up, I challenge myself. I'm like, you know what? I really, really have to absorb everything as much as I can. And yeah, so for me, the highlight of my career is learning, continuously growing. That has been the most highlight of my
Mm.
career.
No. Well, thank you again with that, for that. I think a lot of people, if you are asking them about the highlight, they will say like their biggest achievement, things like that. But
Yeah.
you being brave enough to say something like that, it is something that I think a lot of us will learn from. And again, I just want to before we close this interview, but I just want you to help out someone here. What words of motivation can you give to students that are still busy with their accounting or finance related modules, or their degrees, who are still busy with their undergrads? What words of motivation can you give to them?
Yes. So more than me being a professional, I proud myself for being a child of God, a Christian. So I do believe that, there is a scripture that says, for I know the plans that I have for you in Jeremiah 29, verse 11, plans to prosper you, plans to give you a life and hope. So, yeah, all I would say is remember that God has a plan for you. You're not on this earth by mistake.
Yeah,
God has a plan specifically for Pelilan that, hey, Pelilan, you will do this and do that and do this and do that. That's why you
yeah,
meet very unique people that are doing incredible things that are different. Why?
yeah,
Because we are all different. I like how my pastor explained it. He said we are different colors of so many kinds of colors, different. So there are some people that can write books, that they can do this, they can do that. That is different from what you can do. So really, really believe in your abilities as a person. Really believe in your journey as a person. One of the things I think in this accounting journey is this journey is not easy, especially those studying CTA. Maybe you are failing, you are studying, you're failing, keep going because the journey is not easy. Someone once said to me, if the goal is to be a chartered accountant, then my response is to get up from every failure that I encounter in life. I have to get up because the goal is being a chartered accountant. What is the goal for you? Okay, the goal for you is to be a professional accountant, which means you cannot stop until you reach the goal. There's
yeah,
no way you can stop without reaching the
yeah,
goal. So listen, what you want to achieve in life, it's accessible. What you want to achieve in life, you can achieve it. The fact that you are in the journey for you to achieve it, it means you can do it. You know, you can really do it. If you look, sometimes I think we downplay ourselves. You don't look at the track record of the things that you have done in the past.
yeah,
You being
yeah,
able to do articles the way we did articles, it was
yeah,
so hard, you know. So tell yourself some of the things, some of the difficult things that you have done in life. Tell yourself that because I did ABC, I'm able to do DEF because I did ABC.
mm,
So I think we downplay ourselves sometimes and really, really have hope for the future. Uh, and know that what, God is with me. I can achieve anything, I can do anything. So my motto, some of the things that I tell myself, I don't want to call it a mantra, but I call it an affirmation that I have for myself.
yeah,
I sometimes stand in the mirror, I say to myself, I am who God says I am. I have what God says I have. I can what God says I can. That's what I tell myself most of the times. Why? Because there will come situations that are contrary to what you believe, to cause you not to believe in yourself. But if you tell yourself, you know what, I can what God says I can, because
Mm.
God says I can do this, I can do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my last message to you. I think also
Mm.
one of the things, just to also highlight in terms of scholarships. I spoke of scholarships and
Yeah.
bursaries, all of those things. Guys, these things are made for you. They are made for students. So don't do a disservice to yourself by not applying to these things. You know, right now we're at Tutuka Bursary. That was like advertising everywhere. Apply for those things. Apply for those things, because me being here and being an educated person was because I took a chance. I just saw a WhatsApp message saying they want people to apply. I applied. That's how I saw it.
Yeah.
So listen, don't downplay and say, yeah, it's for Pelelani, it's for other people out there, not for me. It's for you, because they
Yeah.
applied. They said everyone.
Yeah.
You are everyone. So yeah,
Yeah.
I really encourage accounting students, apply for bursaries, apply for programs, apply, get yourself out there, build your brand as a person. Let them know you. In If you are a tech student, let them know you for that. Be known for something, that really sets you apart. Build your brand as a person. How do you do that? Get yourself out there. Apply for programs, do programs, be out of your comfort zone, guys.
Yeah.
YouTube for me was my comfort zone. I'm sure you being here, it's your comfort, out of your comfort zone. So
Yeah.
yeah, in our comfort zones we don't grow, but if we are outside of our comfort zones, we grow. So really, really do difficult things. You'll be proud of yourself. Right now, sometimes I open the my LinkedIn, or I'm just looking at my things. I'm like, yeah, God, you really did something with something
Yeah.
with me. Yes, you really be proud of yourself if you do the difficult things. So don't really only do the easy things. Anyone can do the easy things. Also do the difficult things that you yourself, I wouldn't be able to do. So yeah, that's my
Yeah.
encouragement for you.
Yeah, honestly speaking, if I were to think about it, in life we normally look at our future, look at the road ahead, and only forget to appreciate all of the things that you have achieved. So
Mm,
sometimes you have set yourself a big goal, but you do not learn to appreciate all the other things that you have achieved. Still working towards that goal. And honestly speaking, just like how you have explained, there is a lot that people can learn from this interview. And again, I will always plead that people subscribe on this channel and just ensure that you also engage with us. And also, you guys are also allowed to also connect with the people that are always calling for these interviews. And again, today, Josephine, thank you for taking your time to come and share your journey with us and come and share some good motivation words or words of motivation, if I may say, to the young generation and also professionals in the accounting industry. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
well, thank you.
Okay, bye. Sure.
Be Smart SA. Accounting professionals you can trust. Reach out to our consultants.